Hello and welcome to the potential last part of the LCK Finals review, at least of their drafts. GenG being 0-2 down against DAMWON Kia, and even though they got the draft win in game number 2, DAMWON Kia were able to outmuscle them in the end. So yeah, we might see if GenG gets another good draft edge and now they're able to win, or if DAMWON Kia recalibrates and gets a better draft and then completes the 3-0 sweep. We start with the bans as always, and they're terrible again for GenG. They have not swapped sides, which is quite strange. But yeah, they ban again champions that you might see on the red side, and especially the Seraphine, again super terrible. The Renekton was being elected by Khan in the last game and then played by Showmaker in the mid lane. And yeah, Renekton was the problem in Copium. Yeah, not good. On the other side, Ruler bans, and yeah, Ruler again, in my opinion, one of the better, if not the best player on GenG. He's a very good AD carry, at least. I mean, he was #1 All-Pro for the LCK. I would not really agree with that, but at least, no, he was he second? Was he first? I don't know. First All-Pro. So yeah, he's a good AD carry, so targeting him is a good way to stop him. And yeah, that again leaves a lot of champions open, like the Hecarim again being here first picked. And yeah, he has the same problems. He is red and green, and again a very linear champion. He only has one mode, that is in. Not talking too much about that again. If you want to know more about Hecarim, check out the last part. I talked about it extensively. Senna and Udyr, very good. They're already not handshaking Hecarim and are seeking to punish him. Senna being of the black, blue and white color scheme, seeking to hold out, and then here black, right, the condition of her farming up a bunch of souls. So yeah, self-fulfilling condition for black. They're already looking for a defensive approach, especially with Udyr here as well being like more white, and yeah, he has green and red elements, but he's primarily white, so already looking to hold out against Hecarim's needed aggression. Tristana and Orianna are then being elected here for GenG. So Tristana again, he is green and yeah, has a bit of blue as well. But her blue obviously not as dark as the blue that is being activated by Senna's black condition, which is obviously nearly impossible. Senna scales infinitively, so yeah, her scaling is infinitively better than anyone else. But at least it's something. Orianna here, the neutralizing pick in the mid lane in most cases, being also in particular able to enable the Hecarim. Yeah, being a white and blue champion, and having, yeah, with the Wombo combo potential, a bit of black, right? If she can like have great ball carriers like a Hecarim, for example, this is what I meant with enabling. On the other side, finishing the first half is the TAMWON. So TAMWON with Senna, yeah, he has an easy way to activate his black part of his kit, right? The hyper carry I mentioned in the first game and in the first draft here. And then he also has the white abilities. So again, DAMWON Kia, a very defensive and sturdy bot lane that can't really be moved. Not even considering what he can do elsewhere on the map with their globals, right? DAMWON Kia, yeah, again looking to hold out. Very similar champions so far to what we saw in game number 1. Again, GenG with very questionable bans. These bans do nothing. These are champions DAMWON Kia should and would never elect. Talked about both in the draft before. Rakan and Rel here. So GenG is not really locked on being blue or red. They're at the moment in a bit of a middle stage, having pieces of both colors. So DAMWON Kia here knowing, okay, in the later stages, or our shade of blue, right, is already very, very dark, and there's very, very little the enemy team can do, so they can only look to penetrate our defensive and yeah, pierce through, set us behind early, and then like, yeah, stomp on us. So they're looking to enable to ban out red champions that could do that. Rakan and Rel, obviously the champions from the support position with like arguably the best engage, and yeah, taking them away is very good. Again, very good bans here from DAMWON Kia. They're electing the Victor. Yeah, again, great pick. Another piece of white, another piece of blue. You love to see it. Again, against Orianna, he has not really too much pressure. Well, at least he has in the early levels in terms of shove, but then later on he's a bit more on the back foot. Doesn't matter at all. He's looking to like farm up and then yeah, team fight. So that lane dynamic doesn't really matter in this game. On and Alistair being elected. Here again, similar to the prior game, I think this is a pick away because On would be really great for DAMWON Kia. I mean, you could think like that, but on the other side, a Sion would be really good for GenG. So they're going for the pick away instead of the their own favorite champion in the top lane. It's okay, I guess. On ultimate, obviously very potent against Senna, against Victor, but it's not tier 1 engage. I already talked about that, so he needs to have other champions that can engage first, which is Hecarim and also the Alistair. So yeah, he is a bit more capable of doing much in later fights than before. Color scheme, he is, what is he, white, blue and green. Then Alistair again white and red, so he can be the engage that they need. Again, remember, red does not mean that they are forced to be snowball champions, but it means that they move forward in their approach of fights, right? Forward, linear and well, yes, they are on a bit of a timer, right? They don't scale as good as other champions. It's not limited to being Sinner champions. Red is not Sinner 100% of the cases. And yeah, before talking about furthermore about the team comps, the Sion here for DAMWON Kia, again, it's not the perfect pick they wanted, but Sion can be decent. He can just stand around and do nothing, and yeah, he doesn't really have to act upon his black condition, right? His black condition again connected to his ultimate, but yeah, he can just be fine. Blue elements has he as well. So we see tank v tank top, we see equal mid laners, right? White and blue, and we see a very defensive bot lane for DAMWON Kia. So we have, for most of the lanes, a shield versus shield approach, where even though GenG has a bit more aggressive picks in the jungle and in the support position than DAMWON Kia has, doesn't matter. The other side on DAMWON Kia here has the shield up to protect themselves from the early aggression or from the aggression at all. Then in the fights later on, obviously GenG has champions that move forward, which is a problem. DAMWON Kia really likes if GenG moves into them, so they have the advantage in that stage as well. Overall, both teams are on theme with each other's colors, so yeah, the drafts are way better from both teams here than the drafts in the game before. So with both drafts being so similar and having like similar stages of power and shades of blue, right, for most of the game, till like Senna's black is activated and she takes over. For the most stages of the game, as mentioned, they're quite similar in team identity power. So this is really interesting because at that stage, play begins to matter, right? It's not competitive at the... Yeah, play begins to matter, which is obviously, yeah, exciting, right? It's not competitive at all. Each player has the ability to impact the game and the result. So yeah, in considering that, DAMWON Kia, in my opinion at least, have the better players. So this would be more DAMWON Kia favored. But yeah, it's the final. Both teams have great players and great team fighting tools. So this game was really exciting. And yeah, considering the player advantage and after the mega tilter that was game number 2, at least for GenG, the mental advantage as well, DAMWON Kia here edges out and finishes the series 3-0, sweeping GenG aside. So that's obviously very, very sad. A bit one-sided in the finals, and the games at least were a bit exciting, while the level of play in game number 2 was very poor. This game, yeah, had better play. And yeah, DAMWON Kia here books the ticket to MSI. Very interesting. They are the first team that are there. Well, obviously after today, the Sunday, we will see 2 more major regions lock in their spots, the LEC and LCS. So yeah, we will talk about that in the future, I'm sure of it. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this series and these 3 parts, please consider leaving a like or subscribe to my channel for more of this type of content. Till the next time, I wish you all a great day. Bye.